Welcome back to another video. My name is Stephen Foster. Today we are unboxing the Pixel 6a and the Pixel Buds Series A that Google is sending out with the Pixel 6a if you order from the Google Store, at least in the United States of America. And I will preface this video by saying I'm aware of the fact that the past couple of years that I've been making Pixel videos, talking about the Pixel 4a mostly and a little bit about the 5a, most of my viewers on this channel for those videos are either in India or Latin America. That's awesome. That's amazing. Hello from the Pacific Northwest, where it's currently like 100 and something degrees. I don't know why. Hopefully it's cooler, chiller, vibes are good wherever you're at. But that is a big thing I think to note about with this phone, is that this phone has a lot going on with it right now with pricing and availability. As it stands today, this phone has been released in India, but for a lot more than what it originally cost, definitely, and a lot more than what it's costing here in the United States. In the past, it was like, I think maybe a $20 US dollar difference, and today it's a $100 difference. I'm sure there's some economic factors at work, maybe import-export stuff. We'll talk a little bit about that. I do have some insights to share. This phone is not available in Brazil or in pretty much any part of Latin America from what I can find, at least from Google's store. But we'll talk about why maybe Google might want to change that. And before we get into slicing and dicing and open this thing up, wow, that's really aggressive. Let's put that down for a second. Do be sure to subscribe to this channel if you guys want to see more tech videos, photography videos. We will be doing a full-on photography camera test with this phone here in the next few weeks. And I also do have some insights to share about this device and Moments lenses, because there's a whole thing going on with that as well. So let's get into the unboxing, show you guys this phone, and we'll get more into the specs, all the things that we want to cover, all the things we want to talk about this phone, because I think this is going to be a very popular phone. The Pixel 4a I think was very popular, and the Pixel 3a was very popular. I don't think the Pixel 5a was that popular because, quite honestly, it was a bit underwhelming. This device, though, unnecessary. This device though, I think with that new Pixel Tensor chip in it, along with having some of these interesting deals, like being able to get the Series A buds for free, I think it's gonna make this phone very, very exciting to check out. So here are the Pixel A buds. These are free. You order the Pixel 6a, you will get these, which I guess go for $100 for free, at least as it stands, at least in the United States of America. Hopefully they extend that to more regions, but that's the name of the game for today. This phone does retail for $449. This phone does retail for $449, which is $100 more than what the Pixel 4a was, and I think the 5a as well. That is a leap. So if you want to think about this as like, you're really not getting these for free, maybe the cost is somewhere in here because there's no longer a headphone jack. They wanted to find a way to make this combo happen. I don't know, but that's the name of the game. I also have my Pixel 4a right here, so we'll do some size comparisons to see. Look at that, excessive heat warning. It's hot outside. Thankfully, we are in the basement. We're chilling. Bunch of stuff. Apparently, this is made in Vietnam. Okay, just a couple easy pull tabs here. Get this box open. I do appreciate that. I love how all these tech devices are just becoming just less packaging, less waste. There it is. That reveal open that I think Apple started, and now everyone's kind of on that. Oh, okay. That is a much bigger phone than the 4a. Very noticeably larger than the 4a. Shall we pull the plastic off? Here we go. Okay. Let's take a look at the box first. What is in the box? And I'll pop open these Series A buds. In the box, you get what looks like a USB-A to USB-C adapter. That's always nice and handy to have. I appreciate that. And a USB-C to USB-C cable. I do hope in the future, is that it? That's it. I do hope in the future, in the way that like a lot of these tech companies have been getting rid of the power brick in the box. I've seen some companies include like a USB-C to USB-A cable. Some include the adapter. I know there's like regulations in Europe and probably more coming to other regions in the world, but I don't know if I need cables anymore. I was just looking at my charging area, which is off in that spare kitchen that we don't use for anything other than I guess now charging my devices. I have too many of these cables now. I don't need it. I really appreciate it, but it should just be like a flag on the website of manufacturers like, do you need a cable? We'll send you one for free. That'd be cool, but otherwise, I don't need it. I do appreciate this though. I think I only have one of these somewhere, and I don't know where it is off the top of my head. Okay, and while we're here, since we just got the box open, let's take a look at the Pixel Buds. Let's get all those guys opened up. Okay. Oh wow, they're actually really small. That's cool. That is actually a lot smaller than I thought these would be. Look how tiny these are. Let me, these are the Gen 1 AirPods. And then this is, I think my AirPods Pro are upstairs. But this is the Pixel Buds Series A. This is the Apple AirPods, the Series 1, the original AirPods from, wow, I guess like 6 years ago. That's crazy to think about. Hey, wireless headphones, they're here to stay. More documentation. See, this is weird. This is another cable, but this is USB-A to USB-C. Looks like there's some extra headphone tips and such in here. Leave a comment down below if you, I don't need these right now. Leave a comment down below if you're someone who likes getting more cables in your boxes, if you feel like you need them. I'm at a point now where like I've had smartphones for 15 years at this point, or just about. I don't need more cables. Even the USB-C cables, I feel like I got enough. Maybe that's just someone who's reviewing tech on YouTube. But I think a lot of us, if we've even in the last 5 years bought one phone, one pair of wireless headphones, probably have all the cables one would need, but I don't know. I should also, let's get that out of the way. Okay. Probably set up the Pixel 6a. I did get it in this chalk color. I'm on a kick this year of, oh, there's a little bit of plastic there. Okay, hair, okay. Almost looked like a crack. I've been on a kick this year with wanting to get white phones. I have a couple other phones in mind that will release just to try something different. I've been on like the black phone gang or like the dark colored phone gang for several years now, and I was like, you know what, this chalk color, I really like the two-tone look of it. I do miss that they don't have the colored buttons. I loved that touch from the Pixel 4a, just that little mint button on the side. Gave it a lot of character. I really like that. Yeah, you know what, I think this is still a pretty fun phone, fun device. Does have plastic rails. Glass back with no wireless charging, but I'm not a big fan of wireless charging. I was done dirty in the past by wireless charging so many times. Like you throw your phone on it, you think it's perfectly on that pad, it doesn't line up. I know now there's like more magnets and things to try to line those things up perfectly every time, but I actually don't mind the cable. I like just throw the cable on, you get the fastest charging, your device doesn't heat up like yeah, you know, I think that's the better way to go. I will say this. The Pixel 4a at the bottom on the on this like section where you have your speakers, you have your microphone for phone calls. The Pixel 4a was like perfectly like centered, or it looked at least centered. This, I don't know, maybe it's the glass back and how it falls off with that different color. But it just looks like there's more to the top of the phone up here than on the bottom down here. Yeah, it just doesn't look center. It looks like everything's sitting just like a millimeter or two lower. It's a weird touch. I don't know. All this is like very, inconsequential. I'm sure it's still fine. The buttons have some good action on it. I do like that this ridge, this lip, I love the design language of the Pixels. These are like unmistakable now. These are like a really cool, unique design language I think that Google's been going for with the Pixel line. But I do like that it sits a lot thinner, a lot more like flush to the body. It protrudes just ever so slightly, but if you throw a case on this, I think it's gonna just sit perfectly. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Definitely a boxier phone. If you look at these two up front like this, yeah, that design language is just a little bit boxier, definitely bigger. This is about 0.3 inches bigger than this phone, which was a 5.8 device, and I think this is 6.1. So definitely bigger, noticeably bigger. In my hands, it's still a one-handable phone. It's still great. It's not like the Pixel 6 Pro, which was, man, that was massive. That was too big. That was too big. And the iPhone 12 Pro Max, 13 Pro Max, which is the iPhone that I've been carrying. No, I'm done with that. When the iPhone 14 drops, I'm going to be going back to the normal Pro and get off the Max because those phones are just too massive. Anyway, enough about all that. Let's boot this. Let's boot this thing up. Here we go. Can we get it to boot up? That's got to be the volume rocker, right? Okay, interesting. This does not seem to want to boot up right now. So thankfully there's a cable in the box. Right after I got finished trashing cables, we're gonna plug this dude in. Thankfully have a USB-C port over here. I'm gonna plug in this. Let's see if we can get this to boot up. Okay, charging. We are charging. It says I have 80%. There we go. Okay, so maybe just wanted to be plugged in. Now it seems to be responding to booting up. Yeah, I think if you look really hard at, especially with the screen on, with that white screen that we had there. What I was gonna say is with that white screen on there, it's very clear to see that the bottom, I guess, chin over the forehead on the bezels is just ever so slightly thicker. I think that was the case too on the Pixel 4a, but it's really not that noticeable. I really was looking for it and I'm still like, Ooh, pressing down on this, the haptic motor in here, way better. Way better. Big fan of that. That actually feels really good. I usually don't turn that on any phones, iPhones, Android phones, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Okay, so I have this thing. It's doing its, it's getting ready. It is connected to Wi-Fi. So we'll jump cut this to something more interesting. So I did want to make this video because I wanted to do a proper unboxing, show you guys sort of what this phone looks like fresh out of the box. I did want to share with you guys my thoughts on this. I have been working with the Pixel 4a as my daily carry Android phone for the last 2 years. I made a whole video about why I didn't go with the Pixel 5a. I do think this is going to be an awesome phone because it is going to have that Google Tensor processor that Google makes. I'm hoping that will help a couple of things. Both with like camera image processing and like shutter lag. I did notice on the Pixel 4a, 5a, and basically all the Pixels before the 6 and the 6 Pro that there's a little bit of shutter lag and processing images, especially shooting raw images and getting them out and passing them off to Lightroom just always felt a tick slower. I'm hoping with this new Tensor chip, that is not going to be an issue. Okay, so while this phone is setting up, I wanted to go over my notes and talk with you guys about where I feel the Pixel 6a is in this sort of landscape of like a budget, or even some people were saying like a mid-range phone with some of these premium features from a manufacturer that is I would consider a premium manufacturer. Because over the last, I think since the Pixel 3a and now the 4a and the 5a and coming up to the 6a, the Pixel line, the Pixel A line, I guess, has been sort of the like default, like, yeah, that's a great budget phone. I'd recommend that to family and friends who want a great Android phone that is in that mid-range tier here in the United States and also in Mexico. Now, it's harder to get this device in Latin America, but it has all the bands, it seems like, to work fine in Latin America. I took, I think, my Pixel 4a down on at least one trip, and it was fine down in and around Mexico City. But now that this phone is priced at $449, that puts it in this category with other phones like Samsung and LG's offerings and some other like more local market offerings that are in, like I said, India and Latin America. I actually pulled up some data from Statista, I think. Apparently over 75% of all phones sold in places like India or Latin America over the last few years. I think this was done in 2019. Those over 75% of those phones are under that $299 price point, USD equivalent, which I guess now with inflation, who knows what money is even worth anymore. What is time? What is money? What is space? I don't know. That said, the Pixel 4a at $349, which I think after about 6 months of being on the market dropped to about $299, you could more or less find it for around $299. That made it a compelling option in that market segment of the budget phone, the phone that most people would get in probably most markets or emerging markets, whatever the economists say we are, where they are, I don't know. But I think there's a few sleeper features that I haven't heard a lot of other people talk about with the Pixel 6a that I think is gonna make it a phone that has longevity, has long-term value, and makes it worthwhile. Again, I talked about that Google Tensor processor. I think that is going to be huge for this phone, having a longevity and a life that is well beyond sort of like the standard 2 to 3 years that most Android phones are known to be good for, or at least in this budget segment as far as like security releases and software updates go. Comparatively, a lot of phones that ship with the Exynos chips in them that would be competitors at this range, like Samsung's like A53, those phones don't have UFS 3.1 storage support. That is a big deal because that is a huge upgrade on this Pixel 6a as far as being able to write things like photos and videos to your phone faster. That is like, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about that, but that I think is going to be a big deal for this phone and its longevity 2-3 years out when you're still using it, and hopefully software takes advantage of that hardware feature and you're using still a phone that's snappy and fun and easy to use, that's like feels as good as new. I think that will be a huge contributing factor for it. And finally, I do want to address this because as this phone arrived at my door about an hour ago, I also had gotten an email back from Moment. If you guys have been following this channel over the last few years, you know that I do a lot of photography stuff on this channel. I really enjoy mobile photography. And one of the things I've really liked about the Pixel line is that Moment has supported the Pixel A line with the Pixel 4 and 5, making cases that support their phones, these Pixel phones, and the Moment lenses. As Moment stands today, they are not making a case for the Pixel 6a. They did make a case for the 6 and 6 Pro. I'm hoping they will make a case for the 7 and 7 Pro, but I don't have confirmation on that yet. What I did hear back from Moment is just that it sounds like they weren't given the camera specs as far as the actual physical dimensions of that camera, and so they weren't able to put into a production pipeline to make that case. Moment does still sell an adapter that you can buy that you can still put on this phone and does work with it. That will allow you to put Moment lenses on these cameras on the 6a. That is something I do plan on doing, and doing a full photography review of the 6a and show you guys what this phone is capable of. Now the hardware is still, yes, the camera that was in the Pixel 4a, but I think with that Tensor chip, hopefully we're seeing some supercharged software around that camera, and hopefully we can get even more out of it. And before we take off here, I did want to pull out these Pixel Buds and show you guys what these look like. I really do like that LED up front is just very, if I close this off, it doesn't have like a hole cut in it like the AirPods do. It's really clean. It looks really nice. I like that a lot, actually. It's all plastic, it's kind of be expected. So not like that premium metal feel to it, but take these out. Yeah, magnets holding them in there. That's fun, that's fine. This is my right one. Let's see how that feels. Yeah, not bad. I'll have to set these up in a little bit, see how they sound, but all in all, not bad. Not bad at all. Looks like there's a pairing button back there. USB-C. It's not something that you'll get on AirPods, at least as of today. May change, but I do appreciate that. Okay, this concludes the unboxing, but like I said, I'm gonna do a full review of this phone. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe do 2 parts. I may do a comparison side by side with the evolution of the Pixel A line from the 4A, 5A, 6A. And then I think I'll do a separate photography review and just dive into the camera, the performance there, editing, Lightroom on the Pixel 6A, because I really enjoyed making those videos just a couple years ago with the 4A. Leave a comment down below with any questions you have about this phone. I would love to work it into my full review, even if it's not photography related, it's not any form of tech related questions, anything. Let me know what you think about these Pixel Series A buds, these Pixel Buds, whatever Google's calling them. If you have any questions about them as well, I'd be happy to answer them for you in the Pixel 4a review. Ooh, that was weird. My thumb just opened. They're weighted very differently. Okay. All right, this is gonna conclude our unboxing review of the Pixel 6a and the Series A buds. I hope that was insightful, showed you guys a little bit of what these devices look like. I'm gonna get them under a full, I think I wanna get like a full few weeks under my belt of using this. This is actually showing up July 28th. So I know like a lot of people have started posting videos this week of the Pixel 4a, or maybe last week or late last week maybe. But I'm gonna dive into it. I'm gonna do a proper camera review of it. But yeah, if you guys wanna see my full review of the Pixel 6a and my photography review pushing this phone, pushing the camera in this phone, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. And with that, please be kind both in life and in the comments below, and like this video to send good vibes across the internet. And we will do it again soon. Later. Oh, I was gonna grab the 6a to like, you know, send it out, but well, I guess I can unplug it, right? Haha. So funny, I was dogging on the cables the whole time and ended up needing it. I actually have 2 other USB-C cables right here off camera. That's hilarious. Good seeing y'all. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for hanging out, saying hi. Appreciate you all. Also, let me know about your color option. What's your favorite color on this? Is there a color that you would like to see that Google is not currently making for the Pixel in any platform? Pixel 7's coming soon too, and that's gonna be exciting. Pumped for those.